Welcome back to another Outdoor Philosophy. And today we're going to wrap up our self-employment series. And if you missed any of these, definitely go back, watch the whole playlist. I have one specific playlist just to these. And today we're going to ask this final question: am I suited to work from home? So am I suited for self-employment? And so I have here the list of the things that we discussed. So we started out the series talking about how to motivate yourself. What does it take to actually be motivated to work from home? And then we talked about having a good home office. Just how to get your office set up, how to have your home work environment separated from the rest of the family world, just to make sure that you have a system that is a little bit unique. And then having a game plan. You have to have a plan. You can't just jump on into business without any plan, without any preparation. You just kind of dive right on into it and start with a plan, start working on some ideas, and ultimately you want to start exploring your avenues for growth. Explore the various ways you can acquire customers. Maybe it's buying lists, maybe it's looking for freelancing opportunities, just these types of general things. And then we looked at examining the types of job incomes, the types of incomes that there actually are in the self-employment world. There's residual income, there's trading hours for dollars, there's passive things. So those are the types of things we want to do. And then we talked specifically about finding those ways of doing the work and then just maintaining it to keep the regular types of employment coming in. And then we looked at reducing our costs wherever possible. So remember, just because you can take a tax deduction doesn't mean you want to necessarily spend the money. At some point in time, you need to draw some profit out and spend it on life. The other things that aren't necessarily tax deductions, but you still need to do. So save costs where you can. There's a lot of free resources, a lot of free software out there. Just figure out where you can reduce your costs to maximize your profits. Tax deductions are great, but if you're spending everything that you make on a tax deduction, it's not a profitable business. And then we looked at building a list of services when things are slow and adjust the timing when things get right. So at this, we talked about how to balance and manipulate your time so that if it's peak times where there's a lot of things going on, you have to focus a little bit less on your process and a little bit more on the paid client work. But you can never get to the point where all you're doing is paid client work. You have to work on the back end of the business. You got to do the books. You got to develop a plan. You got to keep teaching yourself. And then the last time we talked about educating yourself through blogs and books and mentors and a variety of different tips and tricks out there so that we can learn how to do all these things. So we talked about all of these. So let's wrap this up with this final question. Am I well suited to work from home? And ultimately, it's the dream job for about everybody. You wake up whenever you wake up and you work in your underwear and all this kind of stuff. I know that's a sad thought, but the reality is it's not all glamour. You are sometimes the hardest boss you've ever had on the one hand, or on the other hand, you're not motivated at all. You're a horrible boss to yourself and you never get anything done and you end up going broke and bankrupt. And those are kind of the two extremes. The reality is not everybody is suited to work from home. And just because you work from home, by the way, doesn't mean you wake up when you wake up. There's times you got to wake up early in the morning. There's times you got to get out and meet clients. I had some projects where I was working with developers on the other end of the world, and we had to have some overlap in our timing, whether it be late in the day for them or early in the day for them, which meant I was either up really late or really early doing some things. And so there's a lot of this give and take, a lot of this back and forth when you are self-employed. And as you do self-employment, you have to recognize one factor is how easily are you distracted? Are you actually able to get your work done? Are you able to get in there and figure out what you want to do and get work done without anybody yelling at you, without emails, without anyone nagging you? Are you able to put down the distractions around you and go out and get real things done? If you are a person who is a go-getter, who does not have to be told, who is highly motivated in and of yourself to get out and do things that you need to do for your self-employment, then I would say you're probably well suited to work from home and / be self-employed. If you are a person, and it's not bad if you are, but if you're a person that just, you have to have somebody lay out your goal for you. You have to have somebody beating on you to make sure that you're getting things done. You need to be an employee, because you're not going to be good at self-employment. And that's kind of the thing. I know for me, I realized early on that self-employment was probably good for me, mostly because I am a go-getter. I mean, I started my web design company because at that time I worked 9-month contracts. So we were on 9 months, we were off for 3 months. And what does a guy like me do for 3 entire months, but you still have a full-time salary? Meaning every bill is paid, everything is taken care of, but now I have 3 months completely off in the summer. Dude, I can't just sit around and watch movies all day. I have to be doing something. That's actually why I started this. And then within 9 months or so of starting out what I did, I quit that, and I've been doing, a freelance work from home ever since then. I have not had a job outside the home since that time, which is almost a decade ago. And because I'm highly, highly motivated to get things done. And that's just who I am. I don't like to just sit down and watch a movie and do nothing. I love watching movies, but I get tons of work done while I'm at it. I'll be tinkering with something. I'll be playing with something. I'll be learning a new skill. I'll be working on books while something's playing in the background. And it's not workaholism, by the way, because I also know there's, when to stop working and get other things done. That's an important balance to learn as well. But ultimately, if you are a person who can motivate yourself, if you can learn to have the balanced and flexible schedule, if you can learn to take time for your clients and time for you, if you can learn how to educate yourself, if you can learn how to do a lot of systems and processes yourself, then you're probably a good candidate to work from home. If you are a person that has to constantly be nagged on to get something done, you're a chronic procrastinator, it's probably better that you actually go out of the house and have a job and have a boss. That's probably a better thing to do for you. So it just kind of boils down to that degree of final motivation, which I'm not sure if that's something you can learn, or if I'm not sure if that's something that we're born with. I know for me, I've always been a person that loved tinkering with something, even in downtimes. And that is how to figure out a good balance. It makes you a highly productive person, and frankly, if you can get your work done without having to be nagged on by customers, clients, or whatever else, hey, you're great for self-employment. So that's kind of my thoughts. Let me know what you thought of this entire series. Also give me some ideas for what outdoor philosophy things we should do next. I don't know, maybe I'll just find random topics from current events. I don't know. You guys let me know. What should we do for the outdoor philosophy next? Let me know in the comments down below.